Okay, this is the three-arm tile. So I have my add a NIDA panel up. Let's start with the DNA strand creator, and it's set to double strand DNA. And what I'm going to do is hold down the left mouse button and let's draw a strand 24 base pairs long, and let's do another one under it, 24, like that. And then I like to situate this so my visual model's at the top of the document view, and then I also like to lower the scale some so I can see the individual nucleotides. And then I just also like to align everything up at first. So I select all the strands, I go to edit, align, and align with origin, like that. Now they should be aligned and in the same plane, and they are. Looks pretty good. Okay, so next step was let's grab one of the strands and put it at the bottom again, like that. And let's go back to our add a NIDA panel. And let's also rotate this so that the 3' end here on the left, the end with the little cone and ball, is at the bottom here. So I'm going to go to rotate DNA, and you just click anywhere on the strand. And if you go too far, you can hold down the Alt button. It goes the other way. But let's just see. Maybe. I'd say I went too far. Maybe like that. So it's just kind of sticking out of the plane of my grid here. Okay, like that. So these tiles have sticky ends, and those are short strands of single strand DNA at the end. And those single strand DNA from one arm will combine with the single strand DNA on another arm, and that's how the tiles assemble into larger patterns. So to make that, what we're going to do is trim back one strand. So let me use the delete command, and on the 3' end, let's trim back 4 nucleotides, like that. And that makes our extended sticky end, right, like that. So do up here as well. There we go. And now let's copy, let's select these and copy and paste to make the other arms. Let's just get them out of the way here. Control V again. Alright, now to rotate them so that they're in the tile formation, I have snapping turned on. I have it set to 30 degrees. So let's rotate these so the sticky ends are pointed out, and it's it's in a triangle shape, like that. 50. And we'll just put it up here like this, and we'll bring this one over like that, so it makes a nice triangle. And then always kind of double check, see those ones are kind of out of plane. So I'm actually going to raise this one up just because it's fewer to move. But make sure always, every once in a while, check and make sure you're still in plane. Okay, now let's make the crossovers. So I'm going to use the break command in the add a NIDA panel. And basically for each arm, I'm going to follow this strand back, and when it gets adjacent to the opposite strand, let's make a cut there. And here, we're going to go here, here, and over here, we'll go here and here. And let's connect those together with like that. And then we can make our outer connections here. So you can see the way we have everything orientated is that there's a 3' end right next to the 5' end of the other arm. So go ahead and join those together. Like that. And then now the only thing we have to do is make these interconnections. And these interconnections are also single-stranded DNA, and they're 3 nucleotides long. So what we're going to do is in the connect tool, we still have single strand linker uh, selected. We're going to just give it a 3 nucleotide sequence. I'm going to go just ATA, and then we'll select the 3' end and connect to the next 5' end, and you can see it inserted 3 nucleotides of single strand DNA, which is really great. So we'll just connect that and connect that, and there, that's our Mao sticky end 3-arm tile. Let's see what else. A couple other things I was going to mention in this tutorial. I have some notes here. Okay, so then other things, other tips that are good to know. So if we want to name our strands, one thing we can do is, select a nucleotide. Then if you want to select all the nucleotides that are also on this strand, go to the select, and you can select parents. And then one thing you can do, if you have all the nodes in your document view collapsed, and you can't see the strand in the document view, you can right click on it, show in document view, and it will auto expand where it's at, and you can rename your strand if you want. And so call this middle loop. This will help if when you want to actually assign a sequence to all the nucleotides. So I'll just call it a middle loop. And then of course you can also give it a color from here, yellow. Let's see, what else would I want to talk about? Renaming, talk about setting sequence. Yes, okay. So if you were going to, let's say you wanted to mix up these tiles in the lab and actually do an experiment. So what you could do, I mean, there's a couple of ways to set the actual sequence for the DNA sequence of nucleotides for your model. Once again, I'm going to select parent, so I would have everything selected, and then you could go to your inspector panel when you have your strand selected, and then here, this is where it tells you how many nucleotides it is, and you can put your sequence in there. And so that's how you would move from your model to ordering DNA and actually performing the experiments. Let's see, I think that's everything I wanted to mention for this tutorial. So if you have any questions, or if you run into any issues, please let me know. Or if you need any help with your own projects, I'm happy to try to help. Thank you.